remember people telling me, it says, paying the price weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. And, when you hear that, you're like, yeah, until you have to pay the price, right? And then when you start paying the price, you're like, no, dude, this actually weighs. This actually is heavy. This is actually difficult, right? Because in the moment, you're comparing it to the moment. But when you look back on your life, right, you don't remember, what bad thing happened a year ago today. Unless it's, somebody, God forbid, passed away on that day, and God bless their soul. We don't remember these things. We don't remember a lot of the, the breakups, or a lot of the problems, or a lot of the fights, like arguments in a marriage or with parents. Like you don't remember those bad times, but in that moment, in that day, it feels like it was horrible, right? Well, sometimes when you're working and you're building and you're giving everything you got, you're sacrificing, and that in the moment. You're like, man, this is difficult, man. I'm waking up early, man. I'm being consistent, man. I'm getting better, man. I can't slow down, man. I got to keep it going, man. I got to recreate myself, man. I got to put all this energy, man. I got to keep people together, man. I got to move us all forward. We got to accomplish this goal. And you're paying this price, right? You're paying the price. You're missing out on certain trips. You're missing out on maybe certain parties. You're everybody else is having a great time, and you're going to the office. Everybody else is leaving early to go to the bar, and you're staying late. Like these little things, and in that moment, you're like, man, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? Look at what I'm missing out on. And you're like, but I know that if I pay the price, and you believe that, right? But how will you really actually eventually know that? How will your belief go from I believe this to I know this? Because if you're consistent with paying the price, eventually you get the prize, right? When you pay the price, you get the prize. And then you look back on there and you're like, man, it was so worth it. It was so worth it. The opposite of that is you look back and you're like, man, I should have just done it. I should have just went to the gym. I should have just committed. I should have just committed to sales. I should have just committed to leadership development. I should have committed to, reading books on relationships. Man, I just should have committed. I could be so much further. Man, I let the last 6 months, if I would have started 6 months ago, I'd already be here. Man, you know what? Why wasn't I willing to do that? And, that was 5 years ago. By now, you know where I could be? By now? And I think this hits people the hardest at the end of their life. When they're like, man, you know what? I wish I should have done that. I should have tried that. I should have stepped out. What was I so afraid of? That regret scares the crap out of me. That regret right now, even just that example of it, of going there, right? So that I could share it in the video. That regret scared the crap out of me, of having to look back at this and say, hey, those 2-3 things, those goals, those dreams you have right now, that idea that you have right now, like, why don't you go do it? Why don't you try? Why? Right? That regret is going to be so painful that I want to help you eliminate that regret by doing it. If you've been procrastinating it, do it. If you're the person that's doing it right now and you're going through it and you're questioning, is it worth it? Yes, it is absolutely worth it. It's 1,000% worth it when you pay the price and you get the reward. It's 1,000% worth it. And then you say, man, I wish I would have done it faster. I wish I would have committed faster. I wish I would have got there faster. And then you know that now, so the next time that you're approaching an opportunity or challenge, man, you just do it, right? Because on the other side of this challenge, on the other side of this opportunity is a blessing, is a reward, is a prize, right? It's the thing I want. So when you're considering, should I do this? The answer is yes. If it's something that's hard, it's typically something that's good for you, right? Do the hard, man. Do the hard, and you're gonna be grateful that you did. So paying the price weighs ounces, regret weighs tons. Let's just go pay the price, everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't, and give it a thumbs up. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.